respected Chairman of the session, Dr. Roy, eminent speakers, panelists on the dais, delegates, Xlri, and future HR heads of the country, a very good afternoon to all of you. Well, I must confess that I am an odd man in this entire pack of HR fraternity. But I think what Philip Kotler says, that marketing is business. In my entrepreneurial journey of 7.5 years, and prior to that, as a professional, I felt that human resources business. Taking you to the topic of today's skill and the relevance of HR and so on and so forth. I was listening to the opening session to what Mr. Patwardhan was mentioning, that by and large there are retrenchment stories. There are retrenchment stories. But what is the exact scenario? What is exactly happening? Actually, what is happening is a shift. As Nilekani says, many jobs are going to be at peril. Many types of jobs. The landscape is changing. Apart from fueling the India's growing needs for skilled people, two more enablers, which I feel, for Skill India. One is, of course, exports of human resources. And you'll be surprised when I share this information with you, that how deep Indian human resource has gone into in our neighboring countries and across the globe. But yes, one thing is for sure, skills within the factory, skills within the services premises is definitely required, is growing. But other enablers are coming. Another one, immediate which comes to my mind is e-commerce. It is an entire value chain where you have skilled manpower required. And in this perspective, the National Skill Development Authority came up with the Skill India project, and under the leadership of the current government, I think it's doing a fantastic job. I spoke of one enabler is e-commerce. Likewise, the other enabler is we have been so far looking at exports of only products. Services was only limited to IT and ITES. You'll be surprised to believe that how many tool managers, tool operators, beauticians are working in neighboring countries like Laos, Cambodia, Mekong region. Indian human resource has done very well across the globe. My American counterparts, when I used to work in an American company, used to tell me that your best exports is CEOs and not your products that you manufacture in India. But if you see the 1980s and the 90s, where you had a huge exodus from states like Kerala, from western part of India to the Middle East, there were mostly nurses, cooks, and construction people. So that skill part was there, that success story was there. But now with the Make in India program and with the Digital India program, I think we are in dire need of skilled people. We are into mining consulting also, apart from other entrepreneurial issues that we handle. Recently we were trying to take up a project for Coal India, an underground mining project, where we saw that there is a huge dearth of basic skill levels, like header operators, stuff like that. people in the underground mines. And when we started to do the costing of the manpower, we found that almost 4/5, right from the engineers and the mine managers level up to the operator level, had to be imported from Slovakia. We have a tie-up with the Slovak company. And had it been available here, the cost would have been 1/4. So I think these are some enablers which has built the concept of Skill India. Some of you over the last yesterday evening and you asked me about a bit about Skill India, how it goes about. It's mainly driven by NSDA, National Skill Development Agency, and then there is NSDC, which funds various skill training institutes and enterprises, and they have formed by and large 3 sectors: priority sectors, large workforce sectors, and informal sectors. In priority sectors, it's auto, retail, and IT, ITES. Then it's media, entertainment, healthcare, gems and jewelry, leather, electronics, BSFI, the banking, finance, insurance, logistics, construction equipment, food processing, life sciences, apparels, handicrafts, hydrocarbons management, chemicals and petrochemicals, strategic manufacturing, allied manufacturing, education. In large workforces, you have rubber, telecom, capital goods, aerospace, aviation, sports, paints, coatings and instrumentation. In informal sector, you have got security services, beauty and wellness, plumbing, culture, domestic workers, travel and hospitality. So all of these sectors have been identified as be it manufacturing, be it services. Another enabler for this Skill India is the MSMEs, which also I represent. I also wear another hat of the CII National Committee for Services for the MSMEs, where the retention and the attrition level varies between 8 to 54%. There's small organizations, they have been wiped out because of requirement of manpower. So skilled forces are the call of the day. While some types of jobs are getting extinct, other new kind of concepts are coming up. In view of this, NSDC started forming various sector skill councils. I see one of the eminent panelists from the power sector. Likewise, there are 38 and now 40, of course, the management and entrepreneurial skills sector has come up. Such sectors have come up, and there are accreditation agencies and there are training institutes where NSDC provides funding to these institutes, and the results are showing. You will be surprised to know that many HR people have left their existing jobs and started and got into skills, and that too concepts like beauty and wellness. And if you thought that beauty and wellness is only restricted to the metros and the tier 1 and tier 2 cities, you are sadly mistaken. One of my partner organizations, they have just trained up 25,000 SC/ST women in a remote village in Bengal, and they are going to cater to around 3 districts where they are going to carry the beauty kits along with them for small marriages and stuff like that. And out of the 8 sectors that they represent, we are not directly going through NSDC, we are coming to skill also. The beauty and wellness is doing the best. So these are interesting trends that you young minds of you Xlrs can look at. And these are opportunities other than the traditional way of looking at a HR position or a HR job or an HR opportunity. And then there is Skill India, big spillover. I personally when I started my career, most of the career, 50% is into construction equipments, mining equipments. There's a huge requirement of operators, pan-India and abroad. The normal trend in India is 5 years, let's say on a 200-ton cranes that you see on these construction sites that you see. Average salary he draws around 35,000 to 40,000 per month. Moment he is 5 years, got experience, he takes a flight to Dubai and he gets paid around 2 lakh per month, INR, apart from his stay and everything. Things like electricians, plumbers, security. Security, of course, has got very well structured. I mean, that security you see, most of it has been privatized over the last 2 decades. Apart from employment generation, you see, you have got availability. Recently, I got to know about another skill initiative is on the food and restaurant business, where mobile food is reaching various villages somewhere in Andhra. The eminent panelist is from the power sector. I'm sure he will talk on that. Like we have just ventured into a skill project called Surya Mitra project, which is supported by the Government of India, and where we are getting diploma holders, apart from looking at traditional factory jobs, offload jobs, they are being trained on a 3 months, 6 months course, and they are being made a part of the solar projects, going whether it be domestic or commercial or whatever, going making an assessment of the requirements of load and all, giving a proposal and then taking it forward. So that's basically what is happening on the skill front. And the Skill India program, that is what is happening in India. Now, talking of the takeaways of HR, the role of HR, I think again the entire turf is completely changing. 5 years from now, the recruitment patterns will change. All these institutes that are rolling out all these skilled people, the recruitment agencies probably will go, either they will get into skills or the recruitments will happen from all these skill centers, the institutes. The various training partners will become the training activity. I see there will be a lot of outsourcing that will happen, including critical areas. We are working with the Australian company on the mining sector for underground training, underground simulation training. And in that, we have simulators costing around almost 5 crores. I'm glad to share with you, even government organizations, they are ready to support us to provide candidates for training. There are end-to-end tie-ups happening with OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, trainers, as well as training institutes and HR professionals. And finally, another role and takeaway for HR is of course entrepreneurship. Today startups are a buzzword, and earlier when people used to start businesses, take lifelong. I think that paradigm has changed. We've seen Flipkarts, Amazons and Snapdeals of the world. Times are changing. So skill can be a very, very good entrepreneurial option for all of us. One more thing that is coming up, which I think is also worth mentioning, is that, apart from the skill, there's something called recognition of prior learning. You've got goldsmiths, you've got jewelers, you've got, people inside a factory, who has worked in electrical department and then mechanical and then again into other areas, but then they have not been calibrated. So there are short-term programs of calibration or recognition of prior learning. You can visit the NSDC sites and various skill sites available to learn more about it. So one has to be more aware of all these areas, and I feel that this Skill India program is going to be a game changer, especially people who are from the HR fraternity. With that, I would like to conclude my deliberation on Skill India initiatives and the relevance in HR. I would like to thank Xlri for inviting me, especially the organizing committee, and congratulate them for a wonderful show. Thank you so much.